Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I wanted to do a video on something that kind of pisses me off, and I want to give you an idea of why I make the decisions that I make as a business owner. A lot of people assume that when a business owner or a boss or a manager makes a decision, it's based on what just happened, not based on a string of events. So I don't usually make my decisions based on something that just happened. What I do is I try to notice a pattern or see if there was a pattern. Then I figure out, okay, what am I looking to achieve? What just happened? And how does this fit into what I'm looking to achieve? So if this just happened and all this other stuff has been happening, does this fit that pattern? And what is it and does this fit what I'm looking to achieve or not? What do I mean by that? So let's say someone just got fired. They may think that they just got fired because of something they just did that was wrong in the last hour and think, that's not fair, all I did was this thing. When in reality, it could have been a number of things that occurred over a significant period of time that they were told about that essentially never got better. Or if someone is promoted, you may think it's unfair because what they did today wasn't something that was really, you think, worthy of a promotion. It's just a one-time thing, but it could have been something that's been happening for a fairly long period of time. And today what happened showed you that what this person did means that they are on board with the mission and purpose of your company, and they want to go where it is you want to go. Anyway, so let's just discuss what pisses me off today. This is going to be with how the UK is handling e-commerce. And I want to talk about how this ties in to how I handle e-commerce and some of my pre-existing problems. I have an issue with international shipping, which is that first-class mail loses everything. So it doesn't matter what country it gets sent to. Almost all the packages I have that get lost wind up being ones that were international using first-class mail, international parcel. Most of the items that I sell, they are, they're like stuff like this USB-C amp meter, or like this really tiny chip over here. It's really stuff that is very light. Even if you are purchasing 100 of these items, it could still be shipped first-class mail, which is affordable. International shipping for heavier items can be $30 or $50 or $70 or $150. It's expensive, but international shipping for the items that we sell here at store.rossmangroup.com is usually pretty cheap. So if you take a look over here, you'll see that the screen is doing that because Linux sucks. But I'll just move the window out of the way so it stops doing that. Most of what I sell is, it's just like it's kind of like a side hustle of the business. It's these little chips and connectors and things that I use that are difficult to find on eBay. Like the LCD connector for the screen end on an A1707 MacBook, or an audio board connector for an A1932, or an ISL 9239. Just like random odds and ends that are difficult to find for board repair. These things don't weigh a lot, so you could buy $100 or $200 or $300 worth of stuff in another country, and I used to be able to ship it to you for $10, $15, or $1.75 to $2.50 within the continental U.S., which is I think a really, really good deal. Problem I had is that first-class mail international loses everything. Every time we had a lost package, it was a first-class mail international parcel. And it started to become aggravating. These are fairly low profit margin items, so insuring them is a pain in the ass. Even if you do get insurance, they typically want you to wait a really long time before they declare it lost, and usually the customer will file a chargeback in 1/4 the amount of time the insurance company wants you to wait, hoping that you will forget about the claim and not have to pay you. Refer to my many, many videos on why insurance is a scam. But the issue that I have here is that they just lose everything. And I documented this in a page in my site. We don't offer international shipping via first-class mail anymore because they lose packages constantly, and I explained it all here. Now, this pissed off a lot of people because Priority Mail International, Express Mail International, and DHL and UPS and FedEx cost way more money. We're talking $30 or $50 or $70 or $90 to deliver versus $5 to $20. So this aggravated a lot of people. But it's something that I needed to do, because if I sell $200 worth of chips for $225 plus $15 shipping and it gets lost, I'm out over $200. That sucks. Now, if 50 people buy a chip that has a $1 profit margin, I still haven't made up for that one package that got lost. So I couldn't afford to deal with this, and I stopped doing this. Now, Let's tie that into something that just happened recently. I got this notice from stamps.com. It says action required for shipping to the United Kingdom. It says, Dear stamps.com customer, effective January 1st, 2021, value-added tax must be collected for all goods entering the United Kingdom. There will be a 20% VAT rate on goods valued up to £135, $188, which you must collect unless your online marketplace is already collecting it. I don't use a marketplace. I sell from my own site, so that does not apply to me. Current procedures for goods valued over £135 remain the same. To prevent your UK shipments from being delayed, held, or returned by UK customs in 2021, please take the following steps. 1. Register for a VAT number with the UK. 2. Collect VAT at the time of purchase. 3. Make quarterly VAT return payments to the UK. In addition, you should include your VAT number on your customs declarations. This process will vary depending on your shipping software, so be on the lookout for instructions early next year. The moment I read this, I logged into my website, I went to the section where it says what countries do you ship to, and I deselected the United Kingdom immediately. And I want to explain why I did this. It is not because I hate the UK. It is not because I don't want to sell to people in the UK. It is not because I don't like people in the UK. It is because this is bad policy. But in addition to it being bad policy, it also adds in to all the friction that I have already had. So the friction that I have is that the items I sell are very lightweight. So people will be very mad if the shipping options are expensive, like USPS, Express Mail International, DHL, FedEx, UPS. They'll be mad if they see it cost $30 to $50 to have this little piece of crap shipped to them or a couple of chips. They will want the first-class mail parcel. The first-class mail parcel loses everything, so I cannot use that because it loses me money. So right now, I have the choice to either lose money or have angry customers when it comes to international shipping. This is not something that is particularly part of my business's mission and purpose. I don't want to do business in a space where most of my customers are going to be aggravated with me. One of the reasons I stopped doing iPhone repair in late 2015, the screens were at some point due to a shortage, it cost like $65 to $80 a screen. The customers did not even want to pay $70 for the repair, so it was really easy for me to say, I'm going to focus on data recovery and liquid damage repair where people are happy and I can make money, rather than this where people are sad and I can't make money. Things change later, but still, I'm glad I put my effort into the board repair stuff looking back several years later. And here, the international shipping's already got a lot of friction. They're losing a lot of the packages, and the only way I can stop the loss is by using a more expensive shipping method, which pisses off a lot of customers and causes them to be aggravated. Now, you've added this rule where now I need to keep track of the amount of sales that I've made. I need to register with your office. You've given me homework. You've given me something to do. So I already have a part of my business that doesn't make me money, that causes me conflict and aggravation, and now I need to do more work to have that conflict, aggravation, and loss of money. Bye. Bye is all I could say there. And the thing to understand here is that I do already collect sales tax for sales made in New York City. So if you buy from store.rossmangroup.com and you're in New York, you will have to pay a New York sales tax. I collect that sales tax, and then I pay it to New York each quarter. The way this works is my website, I just tell it, if there's anybody in this particular state, charge 8.875% sales tax, and then my software, Unify, Webgility, or something like that, knows to post that tax rate to QuickBooks as this tax rate. And in QuickBooks, I set up that tax rate for people in this area. So this address or this area, this is a specific sales tax type as a line item. And then I can open up a report at the end of the quarter, and QuickBooks will immediately tell me, this is how much you owe New York State for sales tax, because this is what you collected from customers. So what I collect from the customer, I pay to the state. It's something that you can set up. I can set this up. I'm not technically illiterate to the point where I cannot set this up, nor am I bad enough as a business owner that I can't figure out how to make this be set up and be easy. The question is, why should I? You've added a friction point. You've added an obstacle. And the question I have is, why should I overcome this obstacle? Mr. Clinton can open a door. I've seen him open a door with a knob because he fucks with it and he gets his claw in there and he finally gets the little thingy that goes out when you pull the knob to go in. I've seen him break into the cabinets before. He will stop short at nothing to get his greenies. I've seen him physically break my window because he kept hitting on it over and over again until it actually came out of the frame and then fell, so that he could jump out and try to get a bird or a squirrel that was bothering him, that was making noise at him, when I tried to put him on a diet, because the doctor said I should put him on a diet. He will break the window to get to that. But if he's fully fed and I just, put something in his path, he's not going to jump over it. He's not a circus animal. He's not going to do that. And here, I'm more than happy to put in work to make money as a business owner. But if you're going to put up an obstacle and you're telling me on the other side of that obstacle is aggravation and no money, I'm like, why should I do it? What's the point? In New York City, it makes sense that I go through the effort to set up my system, to deal with the sales tax rate and everything else, because I have a business here. We get a lot of repair business. We make good money in the city. So sure, fine, I'll deal with it. Why should I deal with this with the UK? Like, why should I do this? What's the point? Why? Now, if I had business with the UK where people were buying stuff nonstop, where they were buying things where it actually made sense for us to be able to insure each and every single package, if I was selling stuff where it made sense for people to buy using expensive shipping methods like FedEx International Priority or Economy with signature confirmation and all that, sure. But I'm not. I'm selling little odds and ends. I'm selling bits and pieces. I'm selling, items that cost $9 or $10, where the shipping often costs more than the actual item. Why should I do this? Further, if I do this, I am now setting a precedent that this is okay. And if I set a precedent this is okay, more countries are going to do this. Because here's the thing. I have one location in New York. So for instance, if I had an office in the United Kingdom and I also have an office here in New York, I would be expected to set up sales tax accounts because I have a business location in the UK and one in New York. So obviously, in that case, it would make sense. If I don't have a business location in the UK and you say I have to collect sales tax, well, now you're setting the precedent, if I say that's okay, for every single country in the world to say, you need to set up a tax account with our government and you need to collect tax on behalf of us, even though you're not in the country and you don't have a business location here. No. If you want to tax your own customer, by all means do so. If you want to increase the customs duties that your customers have to pay, by all means do so. But you're not, no, don't add hassle to me. No, get out of here. If 100 different countries decide that they want me to report sales tax to them, that means that I then have to sign up with 100 different VAT tax authorities. I then need to keep 100 different reports. I then need to keep track of 100 different tax rates. And I don't want to do that. It's not worth it to me. The thing that I fear is this becoming something that is normal, where let's say in the United States, each of the 50 states expects me to collect sales tax for the customers that purchase something in their state, even if I don't do business in that state. I don't want to deal with reporting to 50 different tax authorities. I don't want to keep 50 different reports that need to then be reported to 50 different authorities that have 50 different websites with 50 different sales tax numbers with 50 different bureaucracies. Fuck that. 2 is enough. I deal with New York State Department of Finance Collections, and I deal with the IRS. That's 2 authorities, and I assure you, with the staff have here, trust me, they keep me busy as it is. I don't need to deal with 100 different authorities or 150 different authorities for every single state in the United States or every single country in the world. And this was the point at which I said, no, I'm not dealing with this. I don't care if I wind up losing business in the UK. And I don't care if this winds up pissing people off. You have to understand that a small business in New York, a small business in Alabama, a small business in Connecticut should not have to register with every single fucking country that they do business with and keep track of all of this. If you want to tax your citizens, UK, you tax your citizens. And if you want to deal with keeping track of what your citizens purchase, that's your job. That's not my job. I'm not dealing with that. I don't live in your country. I've never been to your country. I've never paid tax in your country. And honestly, I probably never will. This is a mess. And this is not something that I want. I don't want to go down the slippery slope. I don't want to deal with this whole thing where every single country or every single state or every single municipality decides we're going to have our own tax that we expect you to keep track of, small business owner. And honestly, I hope that more small business owners decide to do this. There are many ways that if you need revenue that you can tax your citizens. This is not the way to do it. No. Every now and then, Mr. Clinton try to break my window or he'll try to break into the cabinet or something like that because he's a greenie. And I'll have to tell him, you already ate. And then he'll put his claws up and I'll do this to his nose. Just not mean. I don't hit him. You shouldn't hit an animal. You just do this with his nose. You go, no, no. I just kind of want to go up to Boris Johnson, just kind of look at him, to take my finger next to his nose and go, no, no, bad Boris Johnson, bad. Well, I honestly, I shouldn't say Boris Johnson. I don't pay much attention to British politics, so I don't know who in their government is responsible for this decision, but whoever it is, just rethink this shit. And again, e-commerce sellers, please, for the love of God, do not normalize this. Do not allow this to be normalized, because if they get away with it, every other country is going to start doing the same shit. And if you want to sell things internationally, again, do you want to register for 100 different VAT numbers with 100 different tax authorities in 100 different countries and keep track of 100 different tax rates? Exactly. That's what I thought. Now, I think part of the reason that the UK wants me to report it rather than simply increasing their customs dues, if I were to speculate, is that people are lying about the value of the package. The customers are lying about the value of the package, or they're asking the seller to lie about the value of the package, and they want that to stop. And if something like this were put together, then it would stop that. And frankly, if that's the case, it's just... That's a you. I used to have this receptionist that used to say, sounds like a personal problem. That sounds like a personal problem. Or it sounds like a you problem. That sounds like a you problem. That's not my problem. If you can't figure out how to tax the citizens in your country, that's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm not your Internal Revenue Service. That's not how this works. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. And to the customers in the UK, to the loyal individuals in the UK that used to do business with and purchase things from store.rossmangroup.com, honestly, anybody in Europe or anywhere around the world that used to enjoy getting products via first-class mail that we used to sell that we no longer sell, I am truly sorry. I really am. I would not have stopped selling things first-class mail if it wasn't losing me large amounts of money. Unfortunately, it is. I cannot trust international mail to get something from point A to point B without screwing it up. Maybe somebody will come up with a better technology at some point. Maybe Elon Musk will invent something where I just, teleport things, but without having to deal with all of the all of the complications that showed up in the movie The Fly. And when that day comes, I'll be more than happy to utilize it. But for now, can't. Anyway, this is getting a bit rambly, so I will end it. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video.